The drive-in. Once the site of lurid celluloid fantasies, it's now the site of an art exhibition. And yet, it's the search for closure rather than culture that brings the champion of light here.
Yep, Farino. Okay, that was whatever that was.
My writer's block got worse. I didn't sleep much anymore. My life with Alice seemed like a constant fight. I was a wreck. Alice took steps. She booked a vacation in Bright Falls, a small town in Washington. It was supposed to be a chance to break out of the cycle I was in. She didn't know about the darkness in Cauldron Lake.
Just one shot, one more chance for him to save their marriage. I listen to that song on like a daily basis.
Oh, it's you.
I listen to most of the music from.
That's fantastic.
Are you okay?
Go away. No, I want you. But you'll get angry if you're here. So, you gotta go. You know I'll do what you want.
Okay.
I love you so much. Did you know that love hurts? Are you gonna hurt me now? 'Cause you should.
Lady, you got darkness on the brain. I think I can help you if I can get the lights on in here.
You can't turn the power back on. It's not allowed. You said.
So, where shouldn't I go so I don't turn the power back on accidentally?
It's the big building on the other side of the drive-in, but it's locked.
Where's the key? Just so that I know to avoid it.
It's on the wall next to the cash register. But you can't. You can't. Don't be bad.
Hey, no problem. I'm just gonna go do some other stuff.
This is what happens when you get a little scratch. I wonder if he calls his dick Mr. Scritch. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life.
And we're back with Old Gods of Asgard and their manager, Barry Wheeler. Guys, you're on your comeback tour, and you're playing a lot of your classic material, but you've also got a new single out, right? How'd that come about? Was it hard to go back into the studio after such a long time?
Are you kidding me? They were chomping at the bit. They were just itching to stretch those creative muscles. Now, it had been a while because, they they spent a lot of time in,
Retirement. We were retired.
We were?
Yeah.
No. We were at the lodge, and
We escaped. We were at
No.
retirement.
retirement.
Gonna toss it into the trash can, and then it just fell.
Really, once we got in the studio, things started happening. Now, the music has changed a little bit, and the boys were a little rusty, so it took us a while to find the right gear. But hey, once we got going, whew, boy, they kicked ass. And it's an awesome song. It's called Balance Slays the Demon, and seriously, I think it's their finest work. And hey, I should know, I produced it.
Oh, really? I didn't know you were a producer.
Well, this was my first time. I mean, they needed a little bit of guidance, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, these guys are the best. But it's the 21st century, man. Things just sound a little different these days. So, I kind of stepped in there, helped them make it sound all cool, kind of jazzed it up.
That sounds like a challenge.
Oh, no, it was really easy, man. I was just, like, hey, give it a little zing, Let's take it to another level so it really rips. Let's just throw some really sweet synths in. Like that, just kicked it up a notch, but it's totally old gods.
Well, listeners, you can judge for yourselves. Here's Old Gods of Asgard, and Balance slays the demon.
Oh, yeah.
Deep in the ocean of darkness, in the mirror of light, balance becomes a stranger, and in your fantasies, he rides a storm on your peace. Beyond the shadow you settled for, there is a miracle illuminated.
Deep in the ocean of darkness, in the mirror light, the balance becomes a stranger. In your fantasies, he writes a storm on your peace. Wake up and smell the danger. Ever the light casts a shadow. Ever the night springs from the light. In the end, it's never just a lie to me. When balance slays the demon, you'll find peace. In the end, it's never just the dark you see. When balance slays the demon, you'll find peace.
Beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green.
Like an evil twin, feel it scratching within, like an insane southern raging. And his beautiful face in his leather and lace. So can't you see the play he's staging? Ever the light casts a shadow. Ever the night springs
Darkness descend on this frail frame. I drown in fathomless black space. Light never scratched the depths of this domain. I see not, hear nothing waves. Whose changed my mind calls herein. Alone at my own wake, the unraveling of reason's scheme. Oh. I need a cigarette. You're gonna have to forgive me. If you recall, during my time spent with the remaster, and especially like I would go back and find the footage, but I don't even think I'm gonna split this up. I'm just gonna upload it all as a fucking chunky chunk. But you have to understand, like there's a part in second game when they're talking about Barry and they mention him helping them make their new single, and they mention this song. I think I mentioned it then. Balance Slays the Demon is my favorite song that has come from the old gods of Asgard. That is counting Herald of Darkness. That is counting the Happy Song, which I don't really know if the Happy Song counts because it was a bonus track on the Temple of Thought CD, and then they ended up using it in the game. So I actually am not sure whether or not they wrote it for the game or not. It's actually in this. You might hear it in this. It wasn't in the original game, but from what I remember, there's parts where Mr. Scratch attacks you in this and tries to chase you, and as he gets closer, you can hear the Happy Song playing. And if you remember in Alan Wake 2, during that like fever dream sequence, like that fucking Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas looking sequence when he was working with Thomas Zane, that was the song that's playing in the background. I apologize. It's just, I love that song so fucking much. It's like what it is. I think what it is all the songs that Poets have done from Remedy over the years have been great. Okay. The Poet and the Muse is beautiful and haunting. Children of the Elder Gods fucking rocks. Herald of Darkness is like its own like real like the song by itself is awesome, but like what elevates it is like the interaction between the characters and the fact that Alan or rather Matthew Pereda, the voice of Alan, is singing while Ilka Vili is up there fucking lip syncing perfectly to it. Like, I'm not saying that like by itself Herald of Darkness is like not a great song. It is, but obviously the way they presented it is what elevates it. But to me, Balance Slays the Demon is everything about the old gods of Asgard combined. All the good parts. You've got like the heavy fucking like keep in mind, I listen to all genres of music. Like there isn't a single genre of music I don't listen to. I even listen to a little bit of emo, I think. Is Chevelle an emo band? Does Chevelle count? I I like Chevelle. Deftones, Green Day. Well, Green Day started punk and then they kind of went emo. I don't know. I listen to rap. I listen like mostly like old school rap because I don't really like the new shit except for Deont Ward. Ninja and Yolandi, I fucking love them. Like I listen to all genres of music, so I can't really like I'm not good with labels. So when I say like what kind of rock that is, like I know there's a term called like butt rock. I don't fucking know what the fuck that means. I've just heard that people use that term to describe. The weird thing is, the reason I think it's a stupid term is because I've heard it used to describe quite a few different. I've heard it used to describe Godsmack. I've heard it used to describe Korn. I've heard it used to describe Nickelback. So I think it's probably not. I think it's probably a genre that's not very well defined. That's probably just thrown out as an insult. So I don't know like what to call those like heavy parts of that song. But then you got the speaking parts. And it's just that song is everything about the old gods of Asgard. Everything that makes them such a cool addition to this universe, all just fucked into one fucking song. And I love it. And I'm sure you're happy that aside from the ending, because I just love the way that song ends. Although until recently I had the lyrics wrong. I won't say how I found this out because even explaining why I'm not going to say it would be a problem, be a spoiler, but at the very end he says the unraveling of reason skein. And skein is like a term for like yarn, like a spool of yarn. I always thought it was reason schemed. So for 10 years, I've always thought that's what that was, which is fine. We've all had misheard lyrics in our lives. I can't off the top of my head remember what's being said during that one part where it's played backwards, but I know it's significant. I remember looking it up once, and it's like significant to the story. And it's like also it's like a theme that you're gonna see going forward in this that they kind of abandoned later on, you know, the balance between the light and the dark. They ended up kind of, abandoning that with the sequel and just making it be like, okay, the light has to defeat the dark. Just that's it. Whereas I think even without everything that Alan Wake is, that song just sends like a pretty cool message anyway, in that if whether you look at it from like a religious point of view, a moral point of view, like, trying to just be good and virtuous all the time and pretend that like, your darker side doesn't exist, that's not going to do anyone any good. And being a hedonist and just being selfish, that's not going to do anyone good. It's finding the balance between, being a good person, but also, allowing yourself to be a little selfish, allowing yourself to enjoy, things that maybe there's a part of you from maybe your childhood upbringing or whatever telling you, oh, you shouldn't enjoy that. I mean, hell, there was like a 6 or 7 year period in my life that I stopped listening to Rob Zombie because I started becoming a little more religious at that time. And then eventually I was like, it's all just a character for fun. It's no different than watching. I don't know why it didn't like hit me, because I didn't stop watching horror movies. I recognized that you could enjoy horror movies without like, agreeing with the shit in it. And it's like, that's just the musical version of it. It's not like, uh in Demonoid Phenomenon, there's literally a line that says, enjoy that dead girl's body. I'm pretty sure he's not actually advocating for. But anyway, I hope you forgive me for just like, because I knew this song was in this, because I knew that this standalone, I keep wanting to say DLC, but this was like a standalone game. I knew that this was what Balance Slays the Demon was made for. So I knew it was coming at some point, and I just knew that when it did, I was gonna lose it. I couldn't remember if it. I also couldn't remember how it happened. I couldn't remember if it was like a over the radio thing, like some of the other music. Which I've actually, there's bands I've discovered thanks to them, like that band Poe that did The Road for Alan Wake 2, and then did a song for the second DLC. I don't know if they did the theme song to Night Springs DLC. I'm not sure. But I really dig their sound, and I'm gonna be like looking into like more of their music. And I remember when the first game came out, and like there were like different bands on the radio. I looked into them. There weren't really any that I ended up like fully like getting into. Like, can I say something? Can I know that, like, look, this is my channel. No one watches it, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. But can I just like say that like a lot of people, like, there's like this thing where people like are like, oh, what are some things that people don't like that we should normalize? And it's like, I think we should normalize being able to say, I like this hit song from this band. I enjoy listening to it. I put it in my regular listening rotation, but I've decided I'm not going to take it further than that. Because the way people act towards people that enjoy like the hit singles from a band but don't listen to anything beyond that is the most elitist bullshit that just drives me crazy. It's like, look, Radiohead, Creep helped me through some very dark times in my life. That doesn't mean I want to listen to the rest of your pots and pans banging around masquerading as music experimental bullshit. And I use that example as a joke because I actually really like Radiohead. But it's like, hits are hits for a reason. And I mean, like, if you hear like a band that like has a hit, and like you like, check out some of their like you buy one of their CDs, and like, this is actually by design. Like, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of bands, and this is just the way the music industry works, they put a ton of work into their singles, like the songs that are going to be played on the radio, and then they barely put any work into the rest of the music, either because the band themselves don't care, like they just want to make money, or the studio doesn't allot them enough time. But like, there's a lot of bands where like, there's hit songs that are catchy and are really fun to listen to, and then you listen to some of their other music on the CD, and it's like, eh. And people are like, well, then you're not a real fan. It's like, okay, cool. That's and then there's bands where if I were to name like my like 5 favorite Korn songs, I don't think any of them would be singles, you know? And like ones that are like had like music videos and like been like made into um like the like I love The Seduction of Indulgence, and I love I'm not gonna say it in case YouTube flags it, but the uh song off the first album that is a slur. And if you have a problem with that song, look into the history of like what it's about, why it was written. Then if you still have a problem with the song, then fine, whatever. Um Twist. I fucking love Twist. Twist is fucking like it's funny how many fans there are of the band that don't actually realize what he's doing there. Because I've had this conversation many times throughout my life where people think that he came up with that sound on his own and he didn't. If you listen to Korn and you know that sound twist, you're not that kind of stuff, and the thing that happens at the end of Freak on a Leash, he's actually scatting. And that's like an old, form of music from like, way back in like, I'm not going to give a decade because I'm not actually entirely sure. I want to say like 50s or something. But I'm a scat man. Uh, and that's basically that, through the lens of heavy metal. And that's like a really cool thing to do. Like that's what I love about music is one of my favorite things is when one type of music is like, it's like, okay, well, what if we took this and then what would it be like through the lens of a different genre? I mean, that's how Korn came about in the first place. They took hip hop music and combined it with metal. And a lot of people say that like you can really only hear that in their early albums, but that's not actually true. If you really listen, you can hear it in the new songs too. It's just the merge has become complete by now. Whereas back then, it was like distinctly like them doing metal and hip hop kind of at the same time. Like the merge, like it's like merged into and stuff. And but like anyway, um, I don't know. I'm gonna play this video game. Okay. I really like that song.
Just try to stay calm. I've seen this kind of thing before. I think you're gonna be okay.
Why is it so hard to think?
You've been touched by darkness. I'm hoping it's not permanent.
Remember when you were here before and you kissed me? And then everything got all dark? That was the best.
Listen, this is very important. Where did I go? Can you tell me that?
Baby, you don't need to go anywhere. You're here now, and you're in my head. You should be in me. You should touch me again.
Not with a 10-foot pole, lady. Hey, Just in case there's a part of you in there that's freaking out right now, it's not your fault. I promise I'll do what I can to help you, okay?
I don't... Please go away.
Don't sweat it. I'm just saying that in case you really need to hear it, I've been there.
I think there are spiders in my eyes. I think you put them in me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go now.
Yeah, I don't know. Not really sure
The man has encountered this
how I
before.
can help.
People whose integrity has been suborned by the insidious touch of the darkness. He has experienced it himself.
Oh yeah, I think I apologize if I did, but one of the many times where I started to say something and then I got interrupted, I can't. If I did finish this thought, I apologize for rehashing. But one thing I do miss from the main game that's not in this is the way people just yell out random shit. That's like, because like people, a lot of people I've heard like say that that's like really dumb. And like I've like watched like let's plays and stuff where they're like it's dumb and it takes away from the fear. But you got to understand what that is. It's the darkness. The darkness isn't a thinking. It's like it's like a power more than it is like there's something controlling it, obviously, but like it's more primal than that. And what it is it's picking at the mind, trying to communicate. So all it's finding is like things that that person would probably say in their daily life and then just yelling it out in anger. And I think that that by itself is like a really terrifying, you know,
Merciful light
kind of
burned
thought.
away the darkness in his brain.
Not good.
Sawed off shotgun. Okay, so I don't need to go up there yet. I need to go over here. But I see a page.
The car seemed to sail through the crisp mountain air in slow motion, spinning around one axis almost lazily. The moment
Awesome.
was hypnotic. Then it struck the pipeline in a shower of sparks, the impact turning the windshield into a burst of safety glass. As it hit the ground, I snapped out of my reverie. The car was rolling downhill, slowing down as every bump killed momentum but still coming. The fence wouldn't be enough to stop it.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'm looking forward to.
Oh, look! Mr. Hero's here! You ready to save the day?
Yeah, I think doing one split is good. It's like when you do two, they become super scrawny and then they have their little like sickles. And you can kill them pretty quickly then, but I think one split gets the job done.
You are gonna shit yourself when you realize what I have done. Shut up!
Oh God, that's a fun song. Posts of the Fall can take a song that is just one line over and over and over and just make it awesome. Well, technically it's not one line over and over and over, even if you ignore like the variations of the line. Because there is the part where he's like, violent schizophrenia, you know I'm gonna get ya. That's all good. Oh, says there's a page over here.
It's been 2 years since I came here. Being that long without Alice breaks my heart, and I know it broke hers. I know she thinks I'm dead. How could I blame her for that? It would be a crime to pretend that she owes me anything. She took all the stupid, self-indulgent bullshit I brought into her life and still stood by me. Still loved me. It's no betrayal. But I'm a better person now than I used to be. I want to be that person with her.
I don't know if there's going to be an Alan Wake 3 because I know they're working on Control 2 now. And there's no way in hell that there's not going to be some kind of Alan Wake related content in Control 2. But I hope that they get a... Look, I know that, like, it's not always destined. It's not like, not every story needs to be this way, but I think that he deserves a happy ending. I really do. Because you got to remember, it's not a loop, it's a spiral. I like how you can see the observatory from here. That's a nice little bit of world building. Which, just in case you haven't replayed Alan Wake 2, especially after the patch came out that added New Game Plus, he doesn't die at the end. Everything loops. And it all comes full circle. And the ending where Saga doesn't know if her daughter's alive or not, in the New Game Plus ending, she does answer the phone. And the thing is, like, I know that like when I uploaded recently my footage of me playing the ending, I'm gonna pause just in case anything shows up. I know the whole thing was that like I said that I was gonna play through New Game Plus and then splice in what's new, but that's because clickbaity journalists claimed that it changed everything and added so much. No, it does not. New Game Plus adds a couple new manuscript pages, a couple new videos, some remixed timings for enemy jump scares to throw you off, um, and some slightly new dialogue at the beginning and some slightly new dialogue at the end. That's it. And don't get me wrong, it's an amazing game and definitely worth, replaying, but um it means that what what it means is that the first time you went through the spiral, it didn't maybe not quite work, but that's why even at the beginning of the game, before they came up with the idea of what to do, every time he wakes up, he touches his forehead because he's been through that spiral before. And after New Game Plus, what New Game Plus is, it's one of the very few times, and I honestly can't think of any other game that's ever done this. It's one of the few times where New Game Plus is actually contextualized within the story, in that you're going through the loop again, but this time you made more progress. She managed to actually save her daughter. And now the question is, will you be able to save Alan? We don't know. There's that bit that plays during the credits where Alice talks about how she intentionally misled you into thinking that she killed herself because you had to, be in that darkness. By losing that, it put you in a place where you know, kind of broke, because the darker she made things, she understood, like you, that the darker you make the story, the more you can bring out of it. And that's the one area where I think they continue the motif of balance slays the demon, is that the darker you make the story, the more light you can get out of it. The more sacrifices and the more pain you cause, the more bigger the return and what you can get. And what Alan's gonna have to do in order to escape the dark place, I don't know. Um, he managed to, save Saga and her daughter, but um, even though we still don't know whether like who, whether it was him, whether it was Thomas Zane, whether it was and I have no idea. I love these games. I love the lore, but I'm not deep enough in where I could like explain to you why Thomas Zane is suddenly a movie creator instead of a poet. I have no idea. I'm sure there's some lore reason why they changed that, because it's not like they retconned it, because they literally acknowledge it in the game where Alan mentions, "No, you're not a. You didn't make movies. You were a writer like me." Um, what would Alan have to do in order to fully escape the dark place? Would he have to do something dark, or has the sacrifices he's made, the self-sacrifice he made to save Saga's daughter, uh was that enough? And I'm hoping, I don't want them to, I really like, some stories it's fine to like leave it open ended, like you never like who knows what's gonna happen, but this is one story where I want an ending. I want like I don't think there's ever I can't think of any other story where I more want the protagonist to just escape from the pain and just get to be together. Because I mean, after everything she's been through, Alice, you know, even when she realized that the hauntings were Alan reaching out to her, um you know, she's alone and she's strong, but you know, they need each other. And like I really, you know, I don't know about Thomas. He's probably too far gone. Um because it seems like obviously the darkness has gotten to him. It like because in the first game he was helpful, like in the diving suit and everything, but in the second game it seemed like in the years since he's kind of broken. And I even remember from when I played the remaster that near the end he starts talking about how he's losing the light and he might not be able to help much anymore. So I don't know. But like I do think Alan deserves to get out of there once and for all. What kind of sacrifice he'd have to make, what kind of balance he'd have to do, how he'd have to do it, whether, you know, Jesse in the second Control game, which is just on the off chance that David watches this because either he's already played it or he hasn't and he's like, I don't think I'm gonna go back and play that. I'll just watch his video. I'm not gonna mention anything about certain revelations that have come about recently in regards to what Control 2 is going to be like. But like, yeah, I do hope that there's like, yeah. All right, let's stop. Look, this is my channel, and I can ramble for hours on end if I want to. Bite me. Ooh, that was lucky. I did not realize he was right there. That was lucky. Well, what are we if not completely familiar with jaunts through old power stations? Yes, I know the other direction is the direction I was supposed to go. I'm just checking for stuff. You know how it goes.
Alice, my wife, the best thing that ever happened to me. She smiles and the darkness lifts. For her, I've tried things I otherwise never would. I've never really minded if it's made me feel like a fool. She's a photographer, and the world she sees through her lenses is unique and beautiful. She has the vision. She sees things others don't and knows how to make them visible to everybody. She did it with me, too. She teased out things I was only vaguely aware of. She always saw me in the best possible light.
For those that don't recall, that's actually how they met. She was hired to take pictures of him. I can't remember if it was for an article or for like the jacket for like one of his books or something. But that's how they met. I guess we're going inside. I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen in here.
Okay, I should be able to figure this out.
I guess that's what we call a puzzle. Are these zip zaps harmful? Did that wall just fart? Oh. Ooh, flare gun ammo. I'm like 90% sure I came from that side. Oh. Okie dokie.
You have no idea how badly you're screwed. It's gonna be a blast to watch you find out. Don't want to get hit by those.
Actually, there's light right back over here. All right. I like that it's like a reverse flashbang. It's kind of, that's a cool concept. Can I do anything to the projector? Nope.
I can smell you. I can smell you out there. No, don't. Oh, it's not. It's you. Did you help me?
Looks like you're feeling better now.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened. There was this guy.
Before you say anything, I know I look like him, but I'm not.
Don't worry, you just don't feel anything like he does. He was in my head. I feel like I need to take 50 showers.
Where is he?
That asshole wanted to get into the projector booth. He was talking about fixing things so the sun never comes up. God, it didn't seem that weird when he was saying it. It sounded really good at the time.
You weren't yourself. The projector booth. That sounds about right. I need to get in there.
I have the access code for the door. Here.
Thanks.
I'm just glad you showed up now. He said he'd be back after he'd arranged for some security.
Do you feel up to telling me what's going on here?
We have an art exhibition here, supposed to open tomorrow. I'm the curator. My name's Serena Valdivia.
Alan Wake.
Holy shit, it is you. I've seen you on the big screen. I know your wife.
You know Alice? Wait. Big screen.
Yeah, we have a film from her here. What the hell happened to you?
Getting back to Alice.
Oh, God, yeah, sorry. It's quite a coincidence that you're here. She made this short film. She shot it years ago. You're in it. It's a part of the exhibition.
I'm in a film?
Yeah, it's just footage she shot of you at some point, but she turned it into this thing. It's, almost like a memorial of sorts, because, you're supposed to be dead.
We know all about that.
Something.
Uh-huh. How's Alice? Is she alright?
She's okay, I guess, all things considered. I know her pretty well. You're really Alan? I can't believe you're here. Nobody knows what happened to you. But there are people who say they've seen you.
That wasn't me. He just looks the same. Like,
Yeah, but that guy's a lot more slimy. The thought of him makes me... I hate him, but there's something about him, God, he's so creepy. Anyway, you're not like him. At all. I hope you can stop him.
All right, let's go get some projecting going. I'm gonna go up to the souvenir stand just to see what's up there. I would almost take that. Crossbows are cool. I just know the shotgun, because I got the nail gun if I want precision. I keep switching to the flare gun in an emergency, thinking that'll take care of my problems, not remembering that it's not an instant kill in this.
That's the security system? I guess it was too much to hope for an alarm and a fat rent-a-cop.
I like how the light from that car is affecting them. No one over here or something? Yep. Yeah. I'd like to say running up to those and dropping a flare on them was some pretty clever thinking on my part. Just to give my old horn a little toot toot.
The champion of light can feel the fragment of the signal in his pocket, the weapon that can change what will be. It's incomplete, but it's all he has.
It was late at night. The summer was almost over. That'll do it.
Oh, hell, this isn't going right. You've been up to something, haven't you? Too bad it's not gonna do any good. I'm a better you than you ever will be, and I've got all the time in the world. Everything you've got's going to be mine. Your life. Your wife! What are you gonna do about it? The sun's never coming up now. I can keep this up forever. Show yourself.
It's time to go back. Time to go back. Back to the beginning.
rush of darkness is unstoppable. Time itself twists and tears, sweeping the champion of light back with its dark currents. Again, he enters the world, but now he sees the trap for what it is, a maze that loops back into itself.